What's up, fishes? Welcome back to the channel. We are back at it at the Commerce Casino here in Commerce, California, where in a few moments we're gonna head inside. We're gonna go inside and we're gonna demand to run as good as we did the last time we were here. If you went ahead and missed that video, I'll go on and put it somewhere out here. You can check it out if you'd like. It was a good day for me. It was a great win, and we're gonna hopefully do that again. But before we do that, I wanna go on and thank each and every one of you fishes who went ahead and commented on my previous video and entered that raffle. Congratulations to the winners. Thank you for all those who did email me for a sticker and for those shirts. Like I said, congratulations. All that merch is on its way out. It's been mailed. You guys should be receiving it shortly. And if you want to go on and hook a brother up, help out the channel, go on and purchase one of these shirts, man. It'll help out a lot. I'm not getting rich off of this. It's just a little bit of a help for me. Send me a message right here to this email. I'll leave it on the link on the description below. If you guys are interested in purchasing a shirt, or you want a sticker, you want any kind of merch, hit me up. Anyways, that's enough talking for today. We are gonna get ready. We're gonna head inside and see if we can do this shit again. So I'll see you guys on the inside. All right, fishes. So we go on and put our name on the board for the 2-5 game as well as a 5-5 game. But of course, the 5-5 game has about 1,000 people waiting. And anyways, they go on and they open up a brand new table of 2-5. Everybody sits down. Everybody buys in for the maximum amount, which is 200 bucks. And we get this party started with ace, queen, offsuit under the gun. I go on and I limp, even though I am clearly aware that the Book of Fichintians clearly states, thou shalt not limp. But there's a few players down the road that have been pretty aggressive these past few hands. And well, we can always count on them to go on and bump it up. They don't disappoint. The cutoff makes it 15. The button calls a 15. Both of the blinds let their cards go, and once it gets back around to me, this is where I show a little bit more strength. I go on and I bump it up to 100 bucks. Both of the players that made it 15, they both think about it for a few seconds before they let it go. And we go on and we take our very first pot of the night. Hell freaking yeah. Now I'm looking down at pocket nines on the big blind. There's 3 players that limp in, and once it gets to the small blind, he decides to bump it up to 25 bucks. Now, with my pocket nines, I can go 1 out 3 routes. Route number 1, I could just call this, but if I do that, I'm gonna go on and price everybody in, and we're gonna go to this flop 5-handed, and that's just something that I don't want. So let's rule that one out. Option number 2, I can go on and I bump it up. Our opponent on the small blind, he leaves himself behind $40, and I know that if I bump it up to 60 bucks, he's gonna go on and call, because I mean, I can't imagine him folding for 8 more big blinds. Option number 3 is just to let it rip. Go all in and have these 3 limpers go on and fold. If they are holding ace king, ace queen, ace, or some sort of a mediocre pocket pair, they're gonna go on and let it go. And you know what? I go on and take that route. I shove, I'm all in. And I'm clearly aware this is a bad shove, guys, but you know, this is a leak in my game that I've been trying to fix. Every single time I sense fear in my opponent, every time I sense weakness, I go for the kill, man. And just when people limp in, they just can't be that strong, right? I mean, unless they're trapping, which I've been trapped many times before using this exact same method. I've been felted. I've lost all my money like this, and it seems like I don't learn. But that's the option I took. The 3 limpers, they go on and they fold. The small blind, he decides to call the remainder 40 bucks in his stack, and we go heads up to a full run out. He shows ace queen, so we're going off to a race, which he quickly loses when a 9 comes on the flop. The turn is, he's basically drawing dead. He hits a queen on the river, which is irrelevant because he was already drawing dead. And we go on and we take this pot down. Hell freaking yeah. Now we're looking down at ace king offsuit on the small blind. The cutoff, he goes on and he makes it 15 bucks. The button calls. And as I'm thinking of what to do, the big blind, he decides to jump the gun. He goes on and he puts the remainder 10 bucks out there. The dealer stops him and he says, sir, it's not action on you, it's action on the small blind. And, you know, I already knew I was going to bump it up, but I don't know how to take that. You know, that floated my boat in a way that was kind of weird. I can't really describe it. Anyways, I go on with my plan. I already knew I was going to bump it up. I make it 65 bucks. Our opponent on the big blind, he does not hesitate, and he goes on and he shoves all in for $110. Man, that's like borderline angle shooting, right? I mean, yeah, whatever. I take it for what it's worth. The cutoff, he decides to call the remainder $95 after thinking about it for a few seconds. The button folds, I go on and I call, and we go 3 ways to a flop of 9-4-3 rainbow. I go on and I bet out $100 into a dry side pot. Our opponent in the cutoff, he thinks about it for a second. He's kind of talking to himself. He goes on and he lets it go. I go on and then turn over my ace king, and we're up against pocket nines. So at this point, we are basically drawing dead. The turn is no help. The river's no help. And we go on and we lose a pot of about $110. Hell freaking no. Now I'm looking down at ace jack offsuit in middle position. The under the gun player makes it 15 bucks, and I go on and I 3-bet him to 50. It folds around to the small blind, who takes another look at his hand before he slides in another $100 into the middle, making it a total of 105. The under the gun folds, and now it's action on me. Man, what a bad situation to be on, man. You know, I've been in this situation before. Actually, not even too long ago, I was at a home game. I had pocket eights, and I was the one who 4-betted out of the blinds. And I caught a fish to call me with 5-7 in late position. That same fish went ahead and called my all-in after flopping bottom pair. And I went ahead and took all of his chips. You know, and I get that a lot at games. People are always trying to bluff me out. People are always thinking that they're better than what they're not. And that prepares me for a little bit of a bigger game. Now I'm in a similar situation with a little bit better than just a 5-7. I'm holding ace jack, but a 4-bet coming out of the small blind. Man, that takes testiculars, man. That range is so narrow. And man, not to mention, this guy's been running hotter than Salma Hayek, man. This guy has been getting dealt pocket aces, pocket kings, pocket queens, ace king. This guy's being dealt absolutely everything. I go on and I let it go. I know I have a good price to call, but I let it go. My opponent is nice enough to go on and show us pocket kings. Man, what a great fold, but it's still not a good feeling when you lose and you just light up 50 bucks on fire for no reason. We go on and we lose this one, and we're not feeling so damn great. Now I'm under the gun looking down at pocket queens, and I go on and I bump it up to 15 bucks. The cutoff calls, the big blind calls, and we go 3 ways to a flop of 5, 3, and of course, a freaking king. I'm not ready to slow down yet, even though I'm clearly aware that kings are better than queens. I go on and I put out a C-bet of 30 bucks. Our only customer is our opponent in late position, and we go heads up to a turn. The turn doesn't help us at all. Actually, it gets even worse. It's an ace. Now I'm ready to shut down. I give up. I go on and I check. My opponent goes on and he shoves all in. I go on and I glance at his stack, and I count about 20-something-ish bucks. And yeah, you know what? I call. It's only a little bit amount. We go on and we hit a 3 on the river, which we didn't improve, and our opponent shows ace 4. He was on a gut shot on the flop, and he just got lucky with an ace. And man, and after counting his whole chip stack, he had more than 25 bucks. He actually had 67 total. And man, that's when you need to count the damn chips, or you ask the dealer to count the chips. But I'm not sure if I would have folded for 67 either, but you know what? We lose another one. We're not feeling so damn great. Now, thanks to that last hand, I've managed to dwindle down my stack to about 100 bucks, and I go on and I add on for another 200. So now I'm looking down at king, queen offsuit in middle position, and it folds around to me, and just given the fact that I'm a little edgy, I'm a little wired, and just maybe a little bit tilted, I go on and I bump it up. I make it 15 bucks. It folds around to the small blind, who makes the call. The big blind makes the call, and we go 3 ways to a flop of queen, 8-3 with a couple of clubs. I go on and flop top pair with my pretty damn good kicker, and once it checks around to me, I fire off a wager of 25 bucks. Our only customer is our opponent on the big blind, and we go heads up to a turn. Turn is a 4 of diamonds, and once our opponent checks again, we fire off another bet of 72 bucks. Our opponent on the big blind, he snap calls, and in our history and our knowledge of people who snap call, that usually means they're on some sort of a draw. Anyways, we go heads up to a river, which is a 9 of clubs. The flush gets there. My opponent checks, and I give up. I go on and I turn over my king, queen, my top pair with my decent kicker, and he turns over pocket 9s. What the is going on here, man? I can't seem to win a pot to save my life. Now I'm in middle position, looking down at pocket jiggities. Hell freaking yeah. Brad Owen, give me a shout out. I go on and I bump it up to 15 bucks. It folds around to the small blind who looks at his hand, and he goes on and he 3-bets me to $60. Man, do I have a tell? Everybody knows that I'm playing like an idiot now? Jesus Christ. I'm thinking about it, and this is a pretty hefty bet, man. This is a pretty hefty 3-bet. I'm going to go on and believe this guy. I go on and I let it go. I fold my pocket jiggities because there's no right way to play them. And my opponent is nice enough to go on and show us pocket aces. Man, good fold, fish. But man, how bad are we running? Anyways, at this point, it's time to go. All right, fishes, that's all I have for you guys today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I went ahead and lost today, which means that I didn't win. I went ahead and lost 200 bucks. I added on for another 200 and I walked away with $71. That's a grand total profit of negative 329. Geez, that's a lot of money to lose. But I think it's important to document these losses because we just don't win every single time. We don't have a 100% success rate. We lose, we bleed, we're human, but it just sucks when we lose. But I went ahead and I cashed out for $71, which actually I didn't even cash out. I literally just walked away. The table I was at, it broke. They were sending us to another table and I was just not about to go on and sit down at a new table with this many chips. I was not gonna buy in anymore. That's it, I lost too much. But like I said, it is what it is. We can't win them all. And you know, there's just some things in poker, the outcome in poker that I just can't control. Like me running into pocket 9s, I can't control that. I can't control the dude hitting a set on the flop or the dude hitting a set on the river. The dude getting pocket aces when I have pocket jacks. You know, that's the kind of stuff I can't control. But what I can control is my buy-in amount to a certain extent out here in California. But buying in for 40 big blinds was just not the right thing to do. I felt like I could do it. I did it last time and I went ahead and I won big, but I was not able to do it this time. So I'm going to go on and vow not to do that again. I'm not going to buy in for 40 big blinds. The 5-5 table, that's the next bump. That's the next step up. I'm going to go on and do that. That's a maximum buy-in of 500 bucks, which is 100 big blinds. So I'm going to go on and do that from now on because this is just not going to work out. I don't like losing. And if I lose, I want to not have an excuse to why I lost. So it is what it is, guys. Sorry I couldn't take a win for you guys, but it is what it is. Don't forget to click that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Go on and click subscribe. Go on and hit that notification bell. It's free. It really helps out the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.